Good afternoon, everyone, and you join me at the Digital Combat Board, or DCB, the budget version, for a post-mission debrief for the Malagasy Armed Forces raid Operation Red Duck. This is the final video. Now, we have to bear in mind that war is a continuation of politics by other means. And the objective of war is to disarm your enemy and compel them to do your will, as said by Clausewitz. This raid was very successful for the Malagasy Armed Forces, using their latest 5th and 4.5 gen fighters. They delivered a hammer blow to the Marmatians, who had been planning to use refurbished Tu-22s to attack trade ships along the southern route around the coast of South Africa. So, the objective of war is to disarm your enemy and compel them to do your will. And the Malagasy Armed Forces did certainly disarm the Marmatians. The Marmatians lost most of their western air defence forces, both on the ground and in the air. They lost 8 MiG-23 MLDs, 8 Su-35s, 4 MiG-29 SMTs, 2 S-300 batteries. It had a Big Bird radar damaged, and the Tu-22 and AS-6 storage bases were damaged badly. Malagasy losses were 2 J-10Cs damaged, which will probably be write-offs, and they'll have to source some replacements from China. So a terrible day for Marmatia. The Marmatian losses left the entire west coast of Marmatia, which is below Kenya, where Tanzania is in reality, above Oilam and the disputed border area, absolutely disarmed. So it all went to the United Nations, and the Marmatian-Malagasy Peace Treaty of 2024 has been signed. The Marmatians have been compelled to do the will of the Malagasys. Marmatia will not attack or hold to ransom ships along the southern trade route. Marmatia will forthwith and henceforth not purchase any Tu-22 by Trumpeter, Italeri or any other kitmaker. And it's been signed by all the important people in the world. So Biden, Putin, Rishi, the Oilams, Marmatian and Malagasy presidents, Trump, don't know why he signed it, Macron, UAE and Xi, and Modi, of course, regional power. So what were the reasons for the success? Well, I've broken them down into 4. The first one is situational awareness. The second is saturation. The third is systems, and the fourth is standoff. So let's have a quick look at those lessons. Now, as we can see by the Digital Combat Board, the budget edition, the Marmatian defenders had a very poor situational awareness. Their radar picket didn't actually feature in this because it was jammed out of existence by the G550 electronic jamming aircraft. It tried to communicate that raids were inbound, but its communications were jammed. The actual radar picture in the radar horizon that the Marmatians would have been able to see would have been around here. So the J-10Cs coming in low level wouldn't have been picked up till the last minute. The Super Angry Birds were picked up as planned and drew the bulk of the Marmatian air defences south as planned and as anticipated, giving the grey raid, and especially the purple raid, the Vulcans and the Hustlers, freedom to go in and wreak havoc. And this is where having airborne early warning posts is essential, and having them up all the time, or having very advanced radars like the Thales S-1850, which you'll see in a previous video, and the G550 electronic snooping aircraft, airborne, to give you that situational awareness. You need to have the whole lot data linked digitally to know what is going on the battlefield. Now, the next thing that really caused problems for the Marmatians was saturation. The super angry butterflies, 60, 2 waves of 30 split into 3 batches of 10, really wreaked havoc on the Marmatian air defences. It drew the Marmatian fighters south, and they had a choice to engage, along with the S-300s, these waves coming in, saturating and overwhelming the Marmatian air defences. This is why Russia uses drone attacks and why Ukraine uses drone attacks. They're trying to saturate the air defences. In the past, you'd have to have hundreds of aircraft on a raid to achieve saturation. Now, using drones, you can do it for a cost-effective price, and that's the Malagasy strategy. A lot of these drones, the super angry butterflies, got shot down, but some hit their targets, and it was the ones that hit their targets that did the damage, along with the saturating effect of overwhelming the Marmatian air defences. The next one, and the next reason for success, is to do with systems. Now, if we flip over the Malagasy fighters, we'll see on the Su-57 it's carrying a PL-21 ultra long range ramjet air-to-air beyond visual range missile from China. It also has tucked away in its weapons bays PL-10 missiles from China and PL-15 long-range missiles from China. If we flip over the FC-31, which did an amazing job in this mission, we'll see on the wingtips 2 PL-10s and 3 in this aircraft PL-15s and a long-range glide bomb. If we flip over the J-10C, we'll also see a PL-15 long-range missile, long-range glide bombs, KH-29TE Standoff 30-mile guided missile, and a PL-10. Now, it's the range of these systems which is important, and this is why investing in modern missiles and modern radars for your fighter jets is important. So when Ukraine gets its F-16s, if it's just being supplied with AIM-120Cs, it won't be as effective as if it's being supplied with Meteor missiles. And if it is only supplied with the older radars rather than the new APG-83s, again, it's not going to be as effective. So the radars, whether it's ASA, Advanced ASA, is what makes the difference. Beyond visual range is now really a crucial area of combat. And if we look at here, what the Marmatians have, their R-27s and R-77s, simply outranged by the PL-15s and the PL-21s. That gives the Malagasy Armed Forces overmatch. An overmatch is crucial because when you couple overmatch with situational awareness and you look at what the Malagasy Armed Forces have got in the air, C-295 CASA AEWC Airborne Early Warning Command Post with Israeli radars, S-1850 Thales digital advanced radars. When you look at the Gripens and the fact that they were carrying the Meteor missiles and you put them all together, your target track can be given by the CASA AEWC to the FC-31As, for example, here in the grey wave. They haven't even had to use their own radars, giving away their position. They've got that situational awareness. They know where the MiG-23s are, poor MiG-23s, and they can simply outrange them. They can light them up with their radars at the last minute, and they can fire missiles with longer range, active seeker heads to destroy the MiG-23s in this case, way beyond the range the MiG-23s can ever reply or respond. And this is a real thing if you want to be effective in modern war. You've not just got to have the airframe, you've got to get your radars and your missiles to the next level too. And last but not least, standoff. And this is the same principle. Now, the S-300 and Big Bird system is an incredible system, especially when you put Pantsers into the mix. But when you've got situational awareness, when the radars are lighting up and they're betraying their position, when the engagement radars are coming on and betraying their position, you've got roving eye, so roving Cyclops drones in the air over the combat area, looking for the trails, looking for the emissions. You've got emissions being picked up by electronic warfare aircraft. You can plot and know where those systems are. When those systems are being saturated and your weapon systems outrange the S-300, then the defenders have a problem. They can do this using standoff weapons, and this is something that the Malagasy armed forces have really invested in. So, for example, this is a infrared guided Malagasy conversion of the Russian Fab 500 GPS glide bomb. So it's using a Chinese GPS system on this one. It's got glide wings for extreme range and an IR seeker head. And what you need to do is you need to get beyond the range of the integrated air defence system. So if we look at this here, and here's the Big Bird radar, due to the curvature of the Earth, there is a gap in the radar horizon. The radar picket was meant to fill this gap, but was being jammed out of existence. It was unable to communicate that the raid was incoming. So you can go at low level and loft or toss your standoff glide bomb to hit the SAM batteries, which you know where they are because you've got situational awareness. Or you can operate outside the range of the S-300, but in the radar range, using standoff weapons like the AGM-158 JASSM or the KH-31 PD missile, and you can simply outrange the active part, the part that will shoot you down, of the S-300 battery. And that's why all the Malagasy aircraft on this mission, even these FC-31s, were using standoff long-range weapons. If you get into this area of the SAM battery, you are likely, even with jamming, to be shot out the sky. So if you want to stay alive in modern combat, you need to stay at standoff distance, whether that's low-level lofting, using rocket-powered glide systems, like the Malagasy Penguin glide bomb, or whether you're lofting from 45,000 feet outside the range of the SAM battery. So I hope that's helped. And just to recap, these are the reasons that I believe the Malagasy raid was successful. Better situational awareness, saturation of the target, better systems, and the use of standoff weapons. So what have the two sides learnt from this? Well, one, the Marmations have learnt that they need AEWC. And that's going to be hard to get for them because they're aligned to Russia, post-Soviet successor states. And they have to get A150 mainstays, which, as we know, even Russia is short of. So they'll be looking to convert some civilian airliners into AEWC aircraft. They're also looking at the MiG-31 and the R-37M missile. Essentially, the MiG-31 is a mini AWACS. So what has the Malagasy armed forces learnt from this? Well, they've learnt that they need to continue and they need to strengthen the use of these systems. They've gone for a technological edge, and it has, in this case, paid off. But they can't guarantee that forever. And that's why securing more Su-57s, or even trying to persuade the Chinese to sell them some J20s is really important now for the Malagasy Armed Forces. I hope that's helped. I hope you've enjoyed the series. I hope it's not been too dull. Let me know if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.